What product was supposed to be the next big thing but wound up failing miserably? Oh man, this is really specific to my career field in childcare. Smart diapers. Yep. Diapers that will inform you on your app when your child uses them. I don't know anyone who seriously considered getting these. But I remember seeing ads on my social media for them. Guess what? No one wanted them. Windows Phone. They held a funeral for the iPhone when it was launched. Complete with a casket procession. The pallbearers were Microsoft engineers. When's the last time you heard of someone using a Windows Phone? The Segway. I remember the hype around what was called it before we knew what it was. It was supposed to revolutionize travel. Infrastructure would need to be made to accommodate it. Then it turned out to be the Segway. While cool, it didn't revolutionize travel. The PSP was in before its time. I'd love one now though. I remember playing Little Big Planet on there. FIFA was similar to how it is on a console, which you don't get on tablet or mobile versions. Some tweaks it could have been incredible. Or these days with 5 grams etc. or Wi-Fi playing online on a PSP would be great. Or that's just me. I had a Tiger game. Com when it came out. And it was the worst piece of garbage handheld ever. I had been so psyched about it. I couldn't wait. Because it had an incredibly shitty version of Duke Nukem 3D. This thing was nearly unplayable because of ghosting and general poor game design. The Batman Forever game was mildly fun. But beyond that, it was nearly unplayable and absolutely sucked. I wish I hadn't lost it. Though, since I could sell it to someone who collects this crap, it might be the most non-mentioned and forgettable console. If you can create the next McFlurry flavor, what will it be and why? Butterfinger. Don't know if it already existed at some point, but they used to have Butterfinger Foster's Freeze at El Pollo Loco in my old city and it was the best. Kinder Bueno. The USA is really lacking in things that are hazelnut flavored, and a McFlurry with hazelnut, chocolate, and wafer pieces sounds nice. I'm pretty fond of Garcia from B+J. So maybe something like that. Or perhaps something with marshmallows? Lord, I have a major sweet tooth. Bubblegum BC. Bubblegum. Just did a quick Google search and apparently it was a thing in Australia. I think, first I've heard of it. When I went to the Netherlands for the first time, they had a stroopwafel McFlurry and it was the best McFlurry I have ever eaten. They didn't have it when I went back. It's just M's which they already have. But like, more of them. So much more. Like it's mostly frozen M's betwixt some creamed ice. It's the small ones and the regular size ones. Too. Oops, all M's. Just a bunch of M's frozen in a cup. Actually used to work for a flavor house. Based on what I've seen in Culinary Lab, you'll be seeing a lot of nostalgic with a twist flavors pop up in the next 3 to 5 years. A good case in point is the ranch ice cream that just launched and McDonald's doing adult Happy Meals. Also on a side note, I'm surprised that McDonald's hasn't done a fall or winter flurry, like caramel apple or candy cane. Marshmallow. And not like chunks of marshmallow in it. Just marshmallow fluff. I hate crunchy stuff like cookies and ice cream. Alternatively, blue licorice. Again. Just the flavor. No funny business. What did you learn way too late in life? Save money. Any bit of spare cash if you have any. No matter how small. Learn to manage that shit. Be as tight as a mosquito's arse or as tight as 2 coats of paint. Even if right now you are, or think that you are doing okay, still save what you can. As an aside, I totally appreciate that for some this advice is irrelevant and / or triggering as many people literally do not have spare pennies. Been there myself, so apologies in advance. The person thinking most about that thing you are overthinking is you and no one else actually gives a shit, so chill. The stain you got on your t-shirt really isn't that embarrassing, no one is even aware of it other than you, so why are you panicking about something no one would even care about if you told them straight up? Just remember that and don't sweat the small stuff. Some people just straight up lie to your face about really important things. Like I kind of theoretically knew liars existed and have always been good at spotting someone gilding the truth or manipulating me, but a straight up lie. Well, learned the hard way, I can't seem to spot them. In person at least. #X200B. Also that my mother was right about dating and women and I should have listened to her much earlier instead of guys that had no idea about women. I live in a huge country. One time I went with my family to the far south. It was a 22 hours drive from our city, so we stooped for the night in a small town in the middle of the desert. That town was so small there was literally nothing for us to do. No restaurants. Nothing. We almost die of boredom. Such was the case when we drove back home. We did those 22 HS in a single go just to avoid that town lol. Which cancelled TV show deserved another season. Into the Badlands, Inside Job, Shooter, Altered Carbon. Happy endings. It was such a funny show and was hoping they let it continue for a few more seasons. The original Star Trek was only 3 seasons. And gave birth to an entire subgenre of sci-fi, Trekkies. Truly a bonehead move to cancel it. Carnival. I loved the world that was built in that show. Terminator, TSCC. Just when it was really getting good. Utopia, UK version. Still mourning that series' untimely death. Amazon's remake was shit. Space Force, leaving it on that cliffhanger was just cruel. The Society is one I still wish there would be more of. They cancelled it on a cliffhanger. I am not okay with this. One season. Then COVID, and it deserves so much more. I'm still salty about Santa Clarita Diet being cancelled. I need to see what's next for Joel. Forever. Recently rewatched it. Still great, and I don't get why it was cancelled. Insatiable just because I wanted to see Patty on her serial killer era. The Owl House wasn't outright cancelled, but was shortened from a full 20 episode season 3 to 3 specials. Since the specials are still good, albeit rushed, it makes me want to see what they could have done with a full season. The Magicians. Still haven't seen a show like that one. Better Off Ted. The show was a brilliant satire of corporate business that was far too funny. Amazing cast. Incredibly quotable. Ended far too soon. Punisher should have had a season 2 with more gang/mafia shenanigans. Altered Carbon should have been able to wrap up its story. Rubicon. Didn't have to be a continuation. But I would love to see more like it.